Hi everybody, it's Crafting Just Because with Chris Cowan. I hope everybody's having a lovely Thursday. I know I'm so excited it's Thursday. I am exhausted today. I don't know what my deal is, but I'm just tired today. So I'm just getting set up so I can see your guys' comments, and then we're going to go ahead and get started. I don't even have a sample to show you guys because I've been trying to declutter my craft room and getting rid of stuff that I make right away, so that I don't have it just sitting here collecting dust. And I mailed some stuff to some people, and that was one of the items that I mailed. Hi, Kathy. So it's going to be a surprise for you what we're making, but I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew that you can order from the mini catalog right now. And oh my gosh, are you guys loving it? Oh, if you don't already have one, let me know and I will get you one out in the mail. But there are some awesome items in here. And then what is very cool is Stampin' Up! Also brought back some favorites from last year, and so they're in here as well. So I just wanted to remind everybody that you can start ordering from this catalog, and if you need one, to let me know. Okay, so what we need, we're going to be doing a couple things. We're not even going to be doing any stamping. We're going to be using the Flowers for Every Season Designer Series paper, which I just love. We're going to be using some coordinating product. We're using the Just Jade ribbon, the new In Color enamel dots. We're going to be using some of the Magenta Madness cardstock. We're going to be using the medium daisy punch and then our trio punch. We're going to need to emboss something, so we're using the, oh my gosh, I'm going to forget what this is called. The hammered metal embossing folder. And then we're just going to need our paper snips, some glue, and bone folder. And then I'm going to add Velcro to make this close. But what we're going to be making is a mini handbag. And I got the original idea from a lady who lives in the UK, but I kind of tweaked it, of course, to my liking. Hi, Kathy. I have both Kathys on again tonight. Yay. And her name is I'm going to totally mess up probably saying her name, but Nijiza Creates in the UK. And she has some great 3D items, and I saw her make this mini handbag. And like I said, I always put a little twist on it. And so this is my little twist to her handbag. But we're going to go ahead and bring out our paper trimmer and our 6x6 paper. And what I love about this is it's a project to use 6x6 paper, because sometimes 3D items are really difficult to make with a smaller size paper. And so I love when I find an idea that uses this size paper, and I always have to make it and try it. So what you're going to need to do is on one side of the Designer Series paper, you're going to score it at 2 1/4 and 3 1/4. Sorry, 2 1/4 and 3 3/4. So here's 2 1/4. And then we're going to put it in at 3 3/4. And then we're going to turn it and we're going to score it at 1 1/2 and 4 1/2. So 1 1/2 and 4 1/2. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to flip our cardstock over, and at 3 3/4 of an inch, we're going to put a little mark actually it'd be probably better. Let's do it with our paper trimmer. I mean, with our pencil and a ruler. So at 3 3/4 of an inch, we're going to put a little mark on our cardstock, 3/4 of an inch, and then at 5 1/4 inch. And I'll show you why we're doing that. So they're really tiny what I made, those 2 marks there. But what we want to do is we're going to score it where the, down to where the lines intersect. So right down here, let's burnish our fold line. So let me show you here. I'm gonna burnish this way, burnish this way. Oh, I think I need to do it on both sides. So let me just flip it over and do it on the opposite side as well. So 3/4 and 5 1/4. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to score. So we're gonna put our line there and score the intersecting line. So just like you're making a little triangle, okay? And then we're going to have to do it on the other end as well. Hi, Jenny. And then we're going to intersect this line. One more. I hope I'm doing this right. If not, we'll make it work. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we are going to cut up, these center score lines to the first score line. So I'm going to cut that one up just like that. And then now we're going to do the opposite side. Okay. So when we put this together, we want our score lines to go like that so that when we see how it folds in. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue down on my center tab. And I'm going to glue the back side first because I want the front to have a clean view. Oh, thanks, Heather. Hi, Heather. I sometimes create these projects so far in advance and then I forget how I do them. So I just wanted to make sure I was doing it right. Okay. So now we're going to fold the front edge over and see, we're just going to lightly push down where that triangle goes in. Sorry if I glued it off screen, Jenny. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to put the glue on my tab. Okay, I'm going to glue down my back. And then I'm going to glue on my front. And we're going to pinch it together just like we did the other side. Just like that. And then we're going to put our finger. All I did was put my finger in and it should fold in just because we did the score line. Okay, so this is what you're left with right now. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put that aside and we're going to bring in our big shot. Let me get it all set up here because we're going to be using an embossing folder. So I always put my silicone mat down, and then I have these 2 pads on. And we're taking that Magenta Madness cardstock that was 3x3, and we're putting it in our embossing folder. Now here's a trick if you guys don't know. There's a line on every embossing folder from Stampin' Up, and that's so that you can align your project in there and get it straight. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in. Let me get it started. Okay, come on. I think, hold on just a second, you guys. I need my thicker silicone pad. It depends on the thickness of those embossing folders. There we go. I could tell it was just going too easy. Okay, so now when we take it out, see how we transformed our piece of paper? Okay, let me get this big animal thing out of the way here. Come on. I don't know if you guys could tell, but my one embossing plate is kind of bowed, and that's just from use, but I like to put it in my embossing machine to try to keep it flatter. Okay, so now that we have this, we're going to bring our paper trimmer back in, and we are going to score it on one side that is at 1 1/4 and at 2. So at 1 1/4, we're going to score it, and then at 2, we're going to score it. Okay, so then we're going to fold those lines over, and I would get rid of my paper trimmer, but I'm going to do one more score mark here, and then there we go. Okay, so we're going to set that aside. Now you have another piece of that Magenta Madness cardstock, and it's cut at 1/2 inch by 3 3/4 inch. And on each end of the 3 3/4 end, you're going to score it at 1/2 inch. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in, score, put that in, and score. Now I can get rid of my paper trimmer. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to take my trio punch, and I'm going to use my corner rounder end, and I'm going to round the corners of the front flap. So it rounded the corner, rounded that corner. Okay, then we're going to fold up our little 1/2 inch tabs. Okay. And I'm going to, in the middle, run my bone folder just over that to give it a little bit of a curve. So it's like our handbag handle, okay? And I'm going to put some glue down on those 1/2 inch tabs. And in this middle section, I am going to glue down my handle. Just like that. So let me hold it down for just a moment. That's the only disadvantage of using that liquid glue, is sometimes you got to hold it for a minute. Okay, now on the back piece, you could either put it where it sits out, or if it goes in onto the purse. And I want it to go in so it's got a clean finished look on the outside. So I'm going to tab the side that doesn't have the rounded corners. Whoops, I'm going to add just a little bit more glue to this end. It looks like my little end is coming up. Okay, so now I'm going to add glue to the back panel that we just tabbed, and I'm going to stuff it into my purse and along that back piece. Now, because it's embossed, it's going to take it a minute to adhere to the back of that bag, but I'm just going to run my bone folder across there just like that. Now to close it up, I'm going to just use a Velcro dot. Now on the sample that I show you on my blog post, I used ribbon to tie it, but I've been finding that my Velcro does a little bit better job, and it just makes it easier to open and close. So I'm going to go ahead and put the front and back together, and these are adhesive backed. And then I'm just going to put that into the center of my purse, and then onto the center there, and then hold on here, and then I'm going to put my scissors in and get it apart so that I could really squeeze that together and make sure that that's stuck on that paper. There we go. Okay, there's our little handbag. Now let's decorate it. So I'm going to bring in that medium daisy punch. Oh, thank you guys. And I'm going to punch out 2 of the medium daisies. Okay. And then I'm going to bring in my foam board. And I'm just going to put my eraser into the middle so that my flower becomes 3D, okay? And then we're going to need some Stampin' Dimensionals. So I'm going to add a Stampin' Dimensional here in the middle. And then I'm going to layer my flower into the middle there. Just like that. And then I'm going to take my in color enamel dots, and I'm going to add one of the bumblebee ones into the center of my flower. And then I'm just going to add a little dab of glue and put that onto the center of my purse. And then I'm going to add 2 enamel dots here on the end of my handbag. So I'm going to just pick whatever color. Aw, dang it, I hit that too hard. Gotta fix my enamel dot. The little plastic part came off. I cut it with my scissor. That's why you probably shouldn't use your scissors. And now I lost it. Bummer. Okay, let's just put another one on there. Oh no, here it is. Okay. I'm gonna add that. Okay, let that dry for a moment. But while that's doing that, I'm going to bring in my Just Jade in color ribbon. And I'm going to make a bow. And you don't want it really big because it's going to go on the front of your purse. And then I'm just going to trim off the ends. just like that. And then where that Velcro dot is, I'm going to add a little dab of glue, and I'm going to have to let this sit because it is the liquid glue, but I'm going to put that bow right there. And there's your project for today, you guys. So pretty simple, no stamping on this one. I mean, you could if you wanted to stamp. I just loved the paper and wanted to kind of showcase off the paper. And so that's completely up to you guys how you know, make the purse. But I totally appreciate you guys joining me today. I'm sorry I did get off camera a little bit. Sometimes I get carried away and forget how far away I am. But I hope you guys have a great Thursday night. And I will see you guys tomorrow for a YouTube video featuring the flowers for every season. We're going to be using the designer series paper, the stamp set, and some memories and more cards. Thanks, Marcia. Okay, you guys, have a fabulous night. Bye-bye.